I'm Jake Finken. I like to skate, and I like to film and edit videos. Skateboarding is fun because it's like, there's no rules. There's no, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's try and do whatever you can. Instead of like holding you back and saying, here are the rules, this is your objective, this is your goal. Your objective and your goal is to progress and get better. And that's what I love about it. It gives you a sort of freedom that you don't feel with any other kind of sport, I guess, or hobby. You really feel the possibility. You feel like there's no limits to what you can do. You can spend hours trying to learn a new trick, and once you get that trick, there's just this certain feeling that is just better than any other feeling. Film for me is like a huge part of my life because I love, again, that freedom of not having limits. You can make some pretty cool like films about things that you love. One of those being skateboarding. I love making skate edits because it's fun to see my friends doing like insane tricks that I know I could never do. And then there's something about seeing something in your mind happen in real life that just gives you like this sort of happiness and joy. Because when they go hand in hand, it's just so perfect what you can create. The first few months that I was skating, I would just skate in kind of my complex, just trying to get better until eventually I was skating around the area and I found a couple neighbors and they were out skating. They told me to come over and they really started helping me and encouraging me to get better. And so then I started learning the basic tricks, and that was just honestly a really good experience, having people that I can rely on and trust. I know that they're good people and they want the best for me. In skating, there's a lot of like obviously small talk and roast, but at the end of the day, we all just want each other to get better because we all want to see each other improve and we all want to see each other grow in our skills, because when someone else lands a trick, we all are so hyped for them, and it's just a really good experience because we get to encourage each other. In skating, there's a lot of falling, which hurts, but after you skate for a while, the pain doesn't really affect you as much, and there's lots of times where it will hurt in the moment. If you didn't fail, you would have no way to grow. If you didn't fall down, you wouldn't have a chance to get back up and have that feeling of, I have the strength and the power to get back up. I mean, I honestly see struggle everywhere. When it comes to family, obviously relatives just not doing so well. My parents were together for my first 7 years, but I don't remember exactly what age I was when they split up. All I know is that I didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I would be a little sad about what was happening, but obviously I didn't really understand what was happening, so it wasn't a big deal for me. I do have two great parents, split up. I still get to see them both, so I'm still pretty happy with my situation. It's made me more aware of the problems that other people may have and how I can be there for them and say that they're not alone in that. And I guess it's helpful when you go through struggles too, that when other people go through similar struggles, you can be there for them and really just be their companion and there for them, because you can honestly say that you know what it's like and they're not alone because you've felt the same thing before, you felt the same pain. If you feel alone, if you're struggling and you feel like there's no one else who understands what's happening, God is living through this with you. God is always there for you. If you're going through something, He's going through it with you. He's there for you. So if you ever have like a time of need and struggle and you feel alone, just talk to the person who's always been there, because He's been there since the moment you took your first breath. I guess it's helpful to understand that Jesus suffered and struggled, because that gives you that perspective of, well, if He struggled and I'm struggling now, we can find some common ground here and say, well, you know what? Maybe He's not so far and distant as I thought He was. We have some similarities. I look forward to going to my small group because I know that when I go, I'm gonna have a good time. So when I start straying away from the path that God wants me to go on, and then I go to HSM and I learn a cool lesson and I'm like, wow, that really applies to my life. Now how do I put that in action in my life? That's been super helpful because my small group, I mean, obviously when I'm having a hard time following that, I can just text the group chat and say, hey, I'm having a hard time with this. Does anyone have any encouragement? and there's usually someone who responds almost immediately, whether that be our small group leader, Ray, or one of the other kids. Then it's pretty helpful just to know that they're there to help me if I ever have a hard time. Whenever I or anyone else shares something kind of personal, no one is there to make fun of them. They're always there to listen and be supportive of them and help them through that tough time or experience. And it's super helpful to know that there's people there that every week you can go to with questions and they'll have answers. When I turn to God, things tend to go a lot better than they were going before. And I noticed that repetitively. When I start to stray away, things kind of start to crash down and I start feeling stressed out and like everything is crashing down around me. And then as soon as I find that peace in God and I start praying to Him and I start talking to Him and I start asking Him for help and things like that, I notice almost immediate changes and immediate transformations in my life of good things starting to happen and just things going uphill, not uphill, things going downhill. Downhill? I don't know. Yeah.
The truth is, struggle puts us all on even ground. No matter who you are, what you do, how much money you have or don't have, whether you're a first in your class or a high school dropout, whether your life is marked by success or failure in education, work, relationships, whether your name is known by many or few, struggle finds us all. And the question isn't whether or not we will encounter struggle, but rather what we do when it finds us. Because the American high school sophomore and the family in a slum in Kenya have much different circumstances, but are both facing the same decision. Will the struggle that knocked them down keep them down? Will their circumstances lead to their demise? Or will they rise up? Will they act? Will they put their faith in something that doesn't rise and fall like the ocean tides? Will they move? We're all on a path to survival, searching for meaning, for purpose, for hope. And struggle keeps us on the search. So it's up to us to do something, to make a difference, to put our trust in something that lasts. It's time to move. So why not now?